Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Everyday English's last game session of 2020, which I guess we're going to
Hello.
get quite a lot. Here I've got Steve with me, who does not necessarily look like he always does. I understand this is Steve-O the Outlaw, Steve's Twitch persona. Is that correct, Steve?
Something like
that. Probably didn't use the right words. So today, in keeping with the festive season, I thought we could have a look at some Christmas words, but obviously a little bit mixed up so that you can try and form them. And how is your Christmas going, Stephen?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you.
Yes, yeah. Right, let's have a look. Hey, so you should be able to see a picture of a very jolly fellow who is very well known in the UK and the States, known by several different names. A little clue here, because this is his name, the first letter is actually a capital letter. So can anybody tell me what they think this word might be? Anybody who's with us at the moment? Shall we give them the first letter, Stephen? There we go. So the first letter is a capital S. We also call this person Father Christmas. And this name is probably the one more used perhaps in America. We tend to call him Father Christmas. In America, they tend to call him Santa. It's not that we don't call him Santa in this country, but probably more commonly Father Christmas. What would you call him, Stephen?
Santa, probably.
Yeah.
But he does have other names, doesn't he? Saint Nick.
Yes, Saint Nick.
Is it Noel? Was that who? Is that in France? Is that Santa?
Oh, Père Noël. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, which actually literally means Father Christmas, doesn't it? So, yeah, and he's I mean, although Christmas is not necessarily celebrated just by Christians, it's more of a cultural festival as well now. So I think that each country, regardless of that, has lots of different traditions. So certainly, it's not always Father Christmas.
I think, like, is it? When I lived in Spain, they don't have Santa Claus.
Who brings? Does anybody?
The three wise men.
Right.
Presents, and it's not on Christmas Day. It's on. It begins with E. It's like a few days after Christmas.
Oh,
it's like a Saint's Day or something like that. I think it's January the 6th or something.
Oh, okay. So in Spain they have to wait a bit longer.
But because of the popularity of Santa, some parents now give their kids like one gift on Christmas Day.
Right.
But if you go around Spain, you don't really see Santa a lot. The main, like we're saying about the Christian aspect of the festival, it's still kind of key there. So the majority of the decorations involve the nativity scene, for example.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So that makes sense. Yes. Yeah. Well, I know in certainly. I mean, I have friends who are Muslims and will still give their children something at Christmas.
Yeah, I think because especially for like young kids, they're not really going to understand, are they? All they're going to know is their friends at school are getting gifts, and they're not.
Yes, exactly.
And especially if they don't go to a religious school, if they go to like a normal like comprehensive school,
Yeah.
then it's going to be part of what the school does leading up to it as well, aren't they? So they're going to know about the Santa Claus and the tradition that we have.
Exactly. And in schools, they do build up to it hugely. I think when my children were at school and they didn't go to a one faith school, they also were inundated with Christmas excitement from the 1st of December onwards. So I think, yes, it's definitely something that culturally, just as a country, we celebrate and carry into our education, and everybody is aware of it. This one, obviously, I realise that you're going to know what this is, Stephen.
Yeah.
I've in America again. This might be called a gift. I think that's quite a common, a more common word, but we certainly use this word. So the first letter is P.
Oh, you got 3 with that one.
It is, yes. Yeah, that's quite handy. That again,
The
I
R
think
and the E.
Yeah, the R and the E. Yeah, and I think we've discussed this word perhaps last week. In fact,
I think it was last week.
Yeah, well, we said it's an interesting word because it's actually used in a lot of different ways and in a lot of different forms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this again is a really common tradition, certainly in the UK, to have one of these in your house. Sometimes it's a real one, and sometimes it's made of plastic. You can have ones that are made of plastic and totally different colors, can't you? And then we decorate it with all sorts of sparkly things. And again, very common. When I was a child and we used to drive to family for Christmas, we used to play games of how many of these we could see in people's windows. And, it would get well into the hundreds because this is a really common thing for people to have in their houses at Christmas. So here we have a capital C. So we know this needs to go at the front of the word. And we've got a little extra spare letter there as well.
I think it comes from Germany originally.
Yes. Yeah, I think it does, which sort of makes sense because this is where these kind of trees come from originally, isn't it? These little fir trees. Yeah. So this word is obviously an important word at this time of year. Can anybody see what it's going to be yet? I feel like, who was it that used to say, can you see what it is yet? Oh, I think it's yes. Again, this word.
You also see them in a lot of shops as well nowadays.
You do, don't you? And I think most towns and cities will sort of have a really big one somewhere.
Yeah, and they do like a switch on, don't they?
Yeah, and then they'll turn on all the lights in town as well. So our first word is Christmas. And Christmas is obviously a very old word, isn't it? We've had this for sort of 2,000 years. Probably not in this form. It was probably in a different language, but it's certainly it's what people will see. A lot of people now spell it with an X, don't they? So they take away the whole first 6 letters.
Yeah.
In an X. Which is, when you've got a lot of Christmas cards to write, that's quite handy.
Where does that come from, though?
The X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea because it doesn't. Obviously, the first part of this word is Christ, and which in the Christian.
Maybe this is just complete guess, but the X letter also looks like a cross.
Yeah, could be. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I want to know now. That's one of those like that'll bug me now. But yeah, certainly a lot of people, they don't bother with those first 6 letters. And then the second word should be fairly easy because it's pretty clear what this is. So first letter is of T. So it's a Christmas tree. This is what so many of us have in our living rooms. Some people have one in every room.
And you get these on Christmas trees, what this one is.
Yeah. Now, funnily enough, I can see what this is supposed to be, but this one looks a bit more like something we call a snow globe, doesn't it? This picture is actually sort of more of a, but yes, certainly.
I thought it was a snow globe until I saw the word.
Yeah, exactly. So I think perhaps the picture is a little bit misleading, but certainly anything shiny and round that we hang from a Christmas tree would be called this word.
It even looks like it's on a stand of some kind.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I think perhaps, that's somebody maybe ran out of pictures or something. But yeah, this word is, kind of it only really gets used for this, doesn't it? I mean, I think sometimes we use it perhaps to describe jewelry, but then it's a little bit, if we say, oh, they've got all their baubles on.
Oh, you give the word away now.
I have just given the word. Here we go, everybody. So yes, I have given the word away.
Probably hard to spell if you don't know how to speak English.
Exactly, yeah. So here, this AU makes the OR sound, which again, we have so much fun with putting 2 vowels together and guessing which particular sound we would like to have. Now, this animal, we don't have any of these in the UK.
Not natively, but I think do they get them in zoos or anything?
Yeah, I'm sure they do, actually. I mean, they can live here. They're not, it's not physically impossible for them to live here.
Maybe more like Scotland, where they'd probably be more comfortable, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Than, say, in the south.
Certainly a lot of them in Scandinavia.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I don't want any children to hear this, but they are basically the equivalent of cows in Scandinavia. Yes, most of your dinner will.
And you go when you go to McDonald's, you get
exactly
a big Rudolph with fries, please.
Unfortunately, yeah. Certainly, if you're handed spaghetti bolognese, this is what it's going to be for sure. And these are, of course, the animals that are supposed to help Father Christmas in the Christmas legend stories that we have. Father Christmas actually carries all the presents round in a vehicle pulled by these animals. I nearly said the word again. I'm really not doing very well today. So these, they are very special Christmas animals. And you mentioned before Rudolph. Now, Rudolph has to be the most famous one of these animals. And he was famous for his red nose. So let's just give you the first letter and the second, as it turns out. I always think that the name of these animals, this rain here, somehow I always think maybe it has something to do with the word rain, the sort of set of belts and straps that we use to attach animals to either ourselves or to carts or whatever. So I always think like rain is perhaps that's why it's there. I don't know. And then the second part of the word is deer, reindeer.
Well, if they use them to pull this word, if they use them to pull these,
Yeah.
maybe that's why it is a reindeer.
Yeah, that's what I wonder, because we do have the word deer, don't we? And we have deer in this country and certainly across Europe, which are similar animals to reindeer. Yes, so this is it's a funny spelling, this word. This particular picture is how we imagine Father Christmas's particular one of these vehicles to look, isn't it? Where on earth he's supposed to fit, I don't know how many presents. Something like 4 billion, isn't it?
In his magic sack.
Yes, his magic sack, yes. But certainly, yes, this again is a very common image. This with the Father Christmas inside, and as you say, magic sack pulled by some reindeer. And Father Christmas is one of these is rather special in that it can fly. So whereas we would normally expect it simply to be on snow.
Yeah.
So let's give the first letter. As an interesting spelling of this word as well. So
I'd like to see learners try and pronounce this word without telling them.
yes, I would too, because it is not obvious. There are definitely some silent letters here. Yeah, so we have
Sleigh.
sleigh, and there were 2 silent letters there, G and H, which we simply don't use.
And you also got sleigh, S-L-A-Y. To kill.
To kill, yeah, which is exactly the same way.
But looks like it sounds.
Yes, at least. Yeah. This is quite. I don't see so many of these nowadays.
I remember when I was at primary school, we had to make them.
Yeah.
But I don't see them now at all either.
No.
Come to think of it,
they are. And certainly we did. We had to. I think these used to be all over our house because I have 2 brothers, and my mum decided, we had to be kept busy somehow before Christmas arrived. So we used to have a lot of these.
Decoration that's gone out of fashion.
Yes, it has. Maybe not sparkly enough anymore. I don't know. But yeah, certainly a lot of them. Made of paper, usually, aren't they? Hold on. Odd Storms has
Gyna.
So I don't know.
The letters are N-I-C-A-H.
Yes. So let me give you the first letter, Gyna, see if that helps you. Sorry,
it begins with a C. So it begins with a C.
Begins with a C. Maybe you'd like to have another go. So this one, it actually does. This is an interesting word because it could certainly also make up the letters of a rather large country, which sounds like China. So
yeah, China.
Yeah, China. Not China, but we are.
It's the picture. The picture.
Yes.
Put the picture in.
Exactly. Have a look at the picture. What do you think it might be? So we would normally call this a paper one of these.
Yeah, because the actual word, it's not specific, is it?
No.
To the.
No, absolutely not. So let's just see if I can. So a chain. A chain, as you say, is a generic word for anything that links from one thing to another. You could have a chain of people, couldn't you? Just one person holding onto another person, holding onto another person. Yeah. So this one, again, the more I work with learners who haven't originally come from the UK, The more I think about some of our traditions and think how lovely but ridiculous they are. I still love them, but actually, what happens in our Christmas tradition is that Father Christmas climbs down one of these to deliver presents to children, which is quite a feat under most circumstances. But in fact, Father Christmas traditionally is not a small man, is he?
No.
So
How does he fit down all the word? I was going to say it then.
yes. Yeah, we're not quite sure how he does this, which is rather a strong basis of all of our Christmas traditions, especially the ones that we share with our children. I think I've briefly lost Stephen there. I'm sure he'll come back. So we have, here is the first letter of this word.
Yeah, back.
There we go, he's back. Hello again. So the first letter of this word is C.
And it's what, if you have a fire in your house, it's where the smoke goes, so it doesn't go into your house.
Exactly.
Hint there, what it does.
Yes, and you find it at the top of your house. Right at the top of your house. So,
on your roof.
On your roof, yeah. Which again apparently makes it so that Father Christmas can land his sleigh on your roof in order to pop down this particular part of your house.
Oh yeah, and in Spain, it's not reindeer; it's a donkey.
Oh, and
the three kings come on a donkey.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it is funny, isn't it? How we have all these different, all based on the same tradition, but actually totally different ways of doing it.
And funnily enough, you know how sometimes at night on Christmas Eve you leave something out for the reindeer and Santa.
Yeah,
they do the same. So so like they'll leave like a carrot for the donkey or something, and then the drink for the three kings.
Yeah. Oh, so we leave, yes, because we leave a carrot for the reindeer, don't we, or something of that ilk, and then traditionally Father Christmas likes a mince pie and a little bit of a drink of something, doesn't he? So quite often alcoholic, which is not necessarily very wise when you have to
don't fly and drive, fly and drink.
Okay, so the next one. So the first sound we have here is chim. I don't know if anybody's got it yet. I'm going to pop this word in. So chimney. Chimney is the word. It's what we find at the top of our house. Okay, just 2 more questions to go. Now, we have not had very much snow in the UK over the last 2 or 3 years, have we, Stephen?
I read the other day that in the near future, it will never snow in England again.
Is this because of climate change?
Yeah, so only places in the UK that will have snow are like mountain peaks.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It is warmer here in general than it used to be. When I was a child, there was snow every year, pretty much, and a lot of it. So there definitely seems to have been a change.
I think if it snows now, it's usually like February or something, isn't it? April,
yes,
March or something.
Yes, yes. April's a very strange month in the UK, isn't it? You have no idea. It really could snow or be kind of 25 degrees.
Hit and miss.
Yes. Okay, so giving you that little hint then. So the first part of this word is snow. And this is something that traditionally we make out of snow.
Yeah. And it's in the shape of the 3-letter word that's left.
Exactly. So, although I think, you know, some people have, you know, competitions and make incredible sort of statues with snow, don't they? I've seen some amazing
and
ones.
ice as well.
Yes. I mean, I think there's a whole hotel made out of ice, isn't there, somewhere?
Yeah, you get bars as well.
Yeah.
Ice bars. You can only stay in there for a certain amount of time because if people are in there for too long, it heats the place up. So I
And
think you're allowed in there for like an hour or 2 hours. And then they have like an hour break and then they allow more people in.
That is incredible. Yes, I suppose you're in all those people breathing. Oh, their warm breath. Here we go. Snowman.
Snowman.
This is what we all like to build, some of us better than others. And the very last word, again, this is a very classic picture that we use in Christmas cards and Christmas decorations. But in fact, this is officially, this is what this particular thing looks like under a microscope, isn't it? Which is very nice. It's I remember when I saw this for the first time, you know, this is actually how this particular material is made up. It's just all these beautiful sort of crystals.
And no two are the same.
No, they're like our fingerprints. So literally no one is the same, which is lovely. So let's get the first letter here. Oh, we've had no more guesses since Dinah. That was an interesting one though. So here we go. We've got a few letters in the middle as well. This again is a combination of 2 words, isn't it? So let's see. Let's see if I can make it. Okay, rather than giving them all at once in a row, let's see if I can do it.
The previous thing was made out of a lot of this stuff.
Yes, exactly. And it's a nice word, actually. The second word suggests something, you know, really small and delicate. Yeah. And this is what it feels like as well when it. I know that some of my students have never seen snow, and you said that your Spanish students, your students in Spain, had no idea. And actually, when this falls, because it is something to do with snow, when this falls, it is an incredibly sort of light, delicate thing, isn't it? Even when there's lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly there.
Doesn't want to be complete.
Doesn't want to go right. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't like that noise. No, let's just do it.
Should we just say it's done and type the word in?
Yeah, let's just do that. Here we go. There we go. Snowflake, snowflake, snowflake.
So it's a snowflake. It's a snowflake.
It's a snowflake, yes. And yeah, this is what comes down from the sky when it snows.
Yeah, this is the individual microscopic, what it looks like you said, under a microscope.
Yes, which is a very beautiful thing. So,
indeed.
Thank you for your company, Stephen.
You too.
It's a pleasure. And this will be the last time we see each other until.
So, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, to you and to everybody else as well. Please just stay safe this Christmas and let's have lots of wonderful things happen in 2021. Bye for now.
Bye.